join us. So now we're talking about Francis Ngannou, Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou, the press conference, the post-fight press conference, post-fight press conference, post-press conference, post-fight. Um, a reaction video. So here we go. We know the fight's going to happen October the 28th. I believe that's a 10-round fight for whoever the baddest man on the planet is. See, there were a lot of things I learned about Francis that, and his team with Mike Tyson. We've seen Tyson Fury many a time in press conferences. We've seen what he says and what he does. We know how he acts. All the antics that the Fury's done is he's done it over and over and over again. And if you're someone who's been studying, like Francis Ngannou, I believe it has been studying, he will not be surprised at anything that Tyson Fury is doing. Yes, he's getting paid the most he's ever getting paid outside of the UFC. Yes, it's the first time he's he's boxing at this level. But make no mistake, make something very categorically clear. And I said this a very long time ago. If anybody on BWTM Sports remembers what I said, if anyone was going to transfer from UFC to boxing and be a success, I said that man would be Francis Ngannou. And I said that I would personally love to manage Francis Ngannou in their heavyweight division because I think he stands a chance. The difference between a lot of these dudes from the UFC and Francis Ngannou is that Francis Ngannou, if you look at his career, kicks are not his speciality. He is about using his fists in terms of more of a boxing style than he has of a kind of kickboxer style. He's got more of a boxer style. And he's got the fundamentals done well. He throws his shots, and the way he throws his shots, he follows through with his shots, which makes him a devastating puncher. And this is with those small gloves that he's got. Now, anybody in the media who thinks that Francis Ngannou is a bum doesn't know anything about combat sports. In fact, there's a lot of people within the media industry that are not boxing fans or UFC fans. They're just paid to disrupt. They're paid to disrupt one promoter's show to another promoter's show. That's it is. So they work for the opposite promoter. And that's how it goes. They just go in, write a load of crap just to knock another promoter's promotion. That's what it is. Understand that from the get-go. So there's agendas within it. I'm sure you're aware of this already. I just want to make this as a side note. So I don't really care about what the media's got to say, because a lot of the media, the same media that will copy and paste and say a guy doesn't stand a chance, are the first to say this is an upset. Well, it's not an upset to me. It's not an upset to me because I'm studying the sport. It's not an upset to me. So they won't follow. They will just follow whatever copy and paste. So if you're looking to the media to be your guide, forget it. The media don't care about you. They don't care about what your thoughts are. They don't care about. All they care about is their ringside seat and their opportunity to be, for the most part, fanboys. That's what the media is about. I'm telling you up now, straight up. That's what it is. It's what it is. Some of these people, some of these guys, their self-esteem is built upon talking to these boxers. I'm telling you. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. So if you take these people and be able to say, "Oh, I took to this person," or "I'm talking to this person. Look how important I am." You've got to understand the mentality of some of these people. So I really wouldn't be. They would switch their opinion based on who they're talking to at the time. So I wouldn't pay any attention to most of the media and put them to one side. So that's my thing about the media. So let's lock them to one side. The fight itself is an incredible fight. You have the UFC and the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. Is he the best in the world? Well, is Tyson Fury the best in the world? Well, he never fought Alexander Usyk to determine himself as being actually number one. Although he's won all the belts in two different times when he's been champion, and he's been unbeaten. But so is Usyk, unbeaten, undisputed cruiserweight champion and current unified heavyweight champion. So the one thing that is interesting, Mike Tyson, when he was named the baddest man on the planet, who did he actually beat to become the baddest man on the planet? Because he didn't beat any bad men. Trevor Berbick was not a bad man. Larry Holmes was an old man, and his training was cut short by Don King. So Larry Holmes was given a short amount of time to train for the Tyson fight. So who was the guy that Mike Tyson beat to be the baddest man on the planet? That question, nobody can still answer me that question. You see, it wasn't Trevor Berbick. If you're going to try and tell me Trevor Berbick was a bad man, look what happened with him and Larry Holmes. Don't tell me Trevor Berbick was the best, was the baddest man on the planet, because he wasn't. The guy that Ngannou beat to become champion, he's a bad man. He's a bad man, and people still would bet against John Jones against the guy. I can't remember the guy's name again. I can't even pronounce him. Stipik, what his name is. But yeah, the dude actually beaten Ngannou before, and Ngannou came back and knocked him out. That dude. And that dude is still considered one of the baddest, if not the baddest, heavyweight in the world, in the UFC, outside of Ngannou. And of course now John Jones is going to be defending his title against him in a matchup that people think that guy, Stipe, stands a good chance of beating John Jones. So John Jones is not going there as a favourite. A lot of people think he can actually beat John Jones. Some will say John Jones will beat him, but that's still debatable. The fact is, that guy was a bad man. So Mike Tyson didn't beat a bad man. Mike Tyson did not beat a bad man to become the baddest man on the planet. If Evander Holyfield fought a bad man to become the champion of the world, at the time, he beat a very bad man. I think he beat him in his 14-50 fight. And then he went and fought James Buster Douglas, the man that beat Mike Tyson. He beat the man that was considered the baddest man on the planet. So I'm not sure. Well, in terms of Mike Tyson being the baddest man on the planet, it was very much advertised and promotion by Bill Cayton and Don King. This fight here about being the baddest man on the planet actually is more realistic for you boxing historians. It's far more realistic because you've got a man who has fought the baddest man in the UFC at the time. People say, well, he ducked John Jones. Well, then we could say that Tyson Fury ducked Usyk. You could argue that. But I just wanted to mention there, I still think this is basically it's two men that are fighting. And although people say, well, it's Ngannou's first fight. Is it? Is it really Ngannou's first fight? So you tell me this man has never fought a fight in his career. Never had a fight. You see, that's where it's utter rubbish. This guy has fought and can fight. So it's not that it's his first fight of his career or the first fight of his life. It's his first fight inside of a boxing ring. But what determines the boxing ring? 4 corners, a square ring. So what separates him from fighting a guy with smaller gloves that comes in and fights? The rules may be slightly different with boxing and UFC, or they're a lot different. But he's still fighting as far as I'm concerned. I look at it as that. And I don't look at it as... I look at Francis Ngannou as somebody who's very, very, very dangerous. And I'll tell you why, the reasons why I see Francis Ngannou as a very dangerous threat to Tyson Fury. Number one thing, the man has no fear. And he believes in himself. Any man that's got the sort of belief to believe in himself when nobody else believed in him. Back in 2018, this guy said, you know what? I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight Tyson Fury. Around that time, around 2018, is what I said to people that I believed that that Francis Ngannou would make a good heavyweight boxer with a punching power. I said it. I said it back then. 2018, and people probably laughed at me back in about it. Now look, now guy's gone and become UFC heavyweight champion of the world, and now he's fighting the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. So that's self-belief. He's got rock solid self-belief. Guys like that are dangerous and hard to beat. First, so he's got self-belief. Two, he's self-aware. Unlike Deontay Wilder, who doesn't know which weight is best for him to fight at. Does he come in at 250? Does he come in 220? Does he come in at 230? What weight suits Deontay Wilder? Wilder does not know. When Ngannou was asked the question, he says, this is the way I perform at, this is the way I'm good at. I've got to understand that I don't want to be too heavy, but I don't want to be too light. I want to be in a position where I'm at optimum weight, I've got optimum energy, and I can punch well. So he understands the necessity of movement. He understands the necessity of getting to Tyson Fury. He understands the necessity of getting inside. And he understands the necessity of exploding, letting his shots go. And he understands that there is a way of getting inside on big men. And if you're going to get somebody who's going to teach you on how to get inside on a big man, there's no one better in the world of boxing today in the heavyweight division than Michael Gerard Tyson, to tell you how to get inside, get under a jab, slip inside, and let your shots go. That right there is a problem. When he's talking about the delivery system, he's talking about, in other words, it's like, how am I going to get in? How am I going to let my shots go? And how am I going to ensure I don't get hit? How am I going to get in Tyson Fury, let my shots go, and not get hit myself? The delivery system. How can I get my Tyson into position where I can do my damaging work? It's a very, very, very dangerous fight. For those people who are talking to me now and telling me it's not a good fight, please come off my stream. Not interested in what you've got to say. If you don't think the fight's a good fight, please come off my stream. Go elsewhere. I think it's a good fight. This is my show. This is BWTM Sports, and I think it's a good fight. If you don't think it's a good fight, you're missing out on something. You're missing out on something. I think it's a good fight. I actually think it's a better fight than Tyson Fury versus Derek Chisora. I think it's a better fight than Tyson Fury versus Dillian White. And those are two heavyweights right there, right? And then, Dillian White was the #1 contender in the world. And I believe that Ngannou is going to pose more of a threat than Dillian White did. For a start, I can assure you that Francis Ngannou is not going to come out of southpaw in the first round. And that's Dillian White we're talking about there, who was the #1 contender in the heavyweight division. And we kept talking about that over and over again. Do you understand? And the difference between Derek Chisora and Francis Ngannou is that if this Ngannou lands on Tyson Fury's chin, I can assure you the reaction will be very different. But anyway, so Mike Tyson will be educating Ngannou on how to explode with punches. We'll be talking about how to get inside on Tyson Fury and how to be an absolute nightmare. And in some ways makes it more dangerous because that's all he has to focus on. Follow these instructions, do these things, and that's what you have to do in the fight. Easier said than done. But when you have such a big target to hit, there's lots of spaces for you to hide. Because on the inside is where Ngannou's going to be his most dangerous. At the end of a jab, that's where Tyson Fury is at his most dangerous. Mid to up close is where Francis Ngannou will be deadly. And it's not like, Ngannou is like short to Tyson Fury. You can see the height. There's not much height difference between Fury and Ngannou. So this is a great fight as far as I'm concerned. And the boxing world had better hold their breath. They better hold their breath on this one. Because if Ngannou does the unthinkable, which I don't think is that unthinkable, if Ngannou does the unthinkable and lands the right hand or the left hook, because this guy can knock you out with every shot. I've seen Ngannou miss with a right hand and land a guy, knock a guy out of a left hook. If Ngannou is able to get the mechanics right on the night, you only need to get it. He only needs to get it right for 1 second. He needs to get it right. Bing boom. And their heavyweight division of boxing is turned upside down, because if Ngannou runs and knocks Tyson Fury out, there's gonna be a rematch, which means the WBC heavyweight champion of the world is gonna go into a rematch, and that further delays Usyk Tyson Fury. So while everyone says it's a money grab and it's this and that and it's a joke, those people who think that this match is a joke, to me, show me they know nothing about fighting. They've got not a clue about fighting. They have no idea. Because if you can condone and you can celebrate Tyson Fury versus Chisora, or Tyson versus Fury versus White, and call that a legit fight, but not call the fight against Ngannou a real fight, then you really don't know what you're talking about. And tell me something, would you have confidence that Chisora could beat Ngannou? Would you have confidence that Dillian White could fight and beat Ngannou? Like, real confidence in it. This is why some people just talk for talking's sake. And the same people think it's a joke fight are the same people who will be in the comment section at the end of a fight and they'll tell you what they think of the fight. Oh, that was a great fight. So you people that like to say this is a joke fight and that's a joke fight and this is a joke fight are the same people that turn up in a post-fight YouTube videos. I really say, oh, that was a great fight. Listen, I don't want to hear anything from you. I really don't. Sick and tired of hearing people say, if it's a joke fight, don't need to tell me. I don't want to know. I'm not interested. Go and tell somebody else. Don't watch the fight. Don't turn up on YouTube. Don't watch the press conferences. Don't listen to it. Just go and do something else. Go and watch something else. Go and watch Misfits. Go and watch Misfits. Because I'm sure you'll sit down and watch Misfits fights. Go and watch Tommy Fury versus KSI. Go and watch that. But for me, crossover, Battle of the Ages. You know, people get caught up in what the promoter has to say, or what the rival promoter's got to say, or what the media have got to say. People can't make decisions for themselves. But for me, this is an excellent crossover fight. And the only other fight out there in the heavyweight division at the moment of boxing is the Usyk fight for Tyson Fury. If he beats Usyk, what next? Or what's next? So I think this is a great fight. And do you know something? What the boxing fans do not get, the boxing fans don't get it, is that Tyson Fury winning this fight brings even more people to the world of boxing. Because if he beats Ngannou well, then the Usyk fight brings even more money. And if they have the Usyk versus Fury fight right back there in Saudi Arabia, wow, even more money. Even more money. Fury's already got the WWE, he'll have the WWE fans in there as well. Obviously the ones after he fought in WWE in the same part of the world. After he's done that, he's gathered fans from that. Then he beats Ngannou. He'll get fans from the UFC. So then imagine Tyson Fury versus Usyk for the undisputed. That would be the richest fight in boxing history. The richest fight. So it's all about accumulating money, making money and marketing. So it would be a huge fight for boxing. A huge fight for boxing. You'll have the world of the UFC tuning in. You'll have the world of WWE tuning in. And then you've got the boxing fans tuning in. So I get it. I understand it. And there's even more money in the pot. So I get it. I understand it. If Tyson does what he's got to do and beat Ngannou. The other thing, I don't know if you saw it, but if you look at the when Tyson took his top off, he just looked disgusting. I mean, really did. His body looked out of shape, and I know he might be playing games, but you don't play them games with that kind of a man. That kind of a man. And Ngannou's looking at him, and he's looking him up and down. He's looking up and down, up and down, up and he's just sizing Tyson Fury up, and he's looking at Fury. And he's looking at Fury, and the way he's looking at him, he's looking through him like he's a punching bag. And he's looking at, like, I'm going to hit you here, I can hit you here, I can hit you here, I can hit. That's the worst thing that Tyson Fury could have done, is take his top off. Tyson Fury may be the best boxer in the world, but let's admit straight, he's not the best fighter in the world. He's the best boxer in the world, not the best fighter. And when he went over the mark and started saying, oh yeah, I'm the best boxer in the world, and yeah, I'll come in the cage and I'll take you out. No, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't. You wouldn't get in the ring with John Jones. You wouldn't get in the same ring with Adesanya. You're going to try and get in the ring now with Ngannou. Are you mad? No. Listen, talking rubbish, mate. And you went over the edge. You went over your boundary line. You're talking about, oh yeah, I can get in the cage and beat you as well. No, you won't. You won't. I mean, talking rubbish about Cain Velasquez. Now he's talking about Ngannou. No. It's not happening. No chance. No way. It's Tyson Fury getting in the cage and fighting Ngannou. Not after the fact that if he beats Ngannou, there's the fight against Usyk, with all the money on the table for that. Fury just talks some real rubbish sometimes. Real, absolute rubbish. And let me ask, I wonder if UFC fans that are listening to this now, what if UFC fans would turn around and say that Tyson Fury would be a joke fight if Fury went into the octagon? I wonder if that would be a joke fight. Tyson Fury in a cage. Ngannou would savage Fury. He would savage him. You see, so Fury's saying he's the best boxer in the world. That might be the case, but he's not the best fighter in the world. And if it becomes a fight, not a boxing match, it becomes a fight. I don't fancy Fury in a fight. If it's pure boxing, Fury's at the end of a jab, controlling Ngannou end of a jab, and he's throwing right hands. You know, he's turning orthodox, he's grappling, spinning, tying up, turning around. Great. But if it's a stand-up and fight, and Ngannou's enraged to let them wild shots go, no. That is all dangerous. And if Fury is in his brain, right, thinking, if he's thinking right, he'll go back and think, I shouldn't have said that about the cage. That was a bit out of my box. But for him to talk about him going in the cage, go back and look at the way Ngannou is looking at Fury. Fury's talking, he's doing all that stupid WWE stuff and trying to be like Ali. And Ngannou's just looking at him. And he's smiling, but he's looking at him. Very cool, very calm. Very cool, very calm. Not animated, not playing to the crowd, not getting involved with Tyson Fury antics. And that right there, cool as a cucumber, calm, not intimidated by Fury, not playing up with the crowd, just smiling and looking at Fury. You know, almost like you look at your lips, alright, I'm coming for you. That dude right there, if body language is anything to go by, Tyson Fury fans and the boxing world need to be very, very, very aware, and they need to hold their breath on October the 28th, because if Ngannou comes and he lands and Fury hits the deck and he don't get up, there's going to be some serious questions being asked of Tyson Fury. Why did he take the fight? Serious questions of his position in the world of boxing, because what's going to happen then? What people say, Tyson Fury got old overnight. What the excuse is going to be? Why did the fight get set up? Because that could be a cherry pick gone horribly wrong. One mistake, one nonsense move from Fury, one lack of concentration, and boom. This is a guy that's seriously focused. He's not playing all them games. He didn't take off his shirt and try to be Hulk Hogan as well. Nganou's not going to get caught up in that. He's an experienced man of fighting. He's not wet behind the ears. He's not having his first fight and he don't know what a real fight is. He's been hit on the chin before. He's been in a real fight before. He's been in many real fights. High profile fights. So And this isn't like Conor McGregor either. This guy's a little different. So for Fury, he's got a jab and grab and frustrate Ngannou and hit him with a jab, 1-2, the jab, the right hand as Ngannou comes in, hit him with the uppercuts. That's what he's got to do, and spin him. And then let this fight. For Ngannou, who's got a jump on Fury, and he's got to take Fury out in the first 3 rounds. After that, I believe Ngannou's going to gas. After that, I think Ngannou's going to gas. Because his body's going to have to be taken somewhere it's never been taken before. Yeah? And then you're on sheer will. And all that stuff that Mike Tyson taught him is going to go out the window. Because by then he'll be sheer exhausted. And then, that's when Tyson Fury will take over. And that's where, at the back end, I believe, that's where Fury will cause the most danger. That's where Ngannou's got to be looking for ways of how not to get knocked out. Once he gets exhausted, Tyson can't save him. You know, his manager can't save him. That's that half. And it's that half boxing fans want Tyson Fury to be in, to then be dominant and close the show. That's what you want. An exhausted Ngannou, flat-footed, doesn't know what to do, confused, and Fury putting the icing on the cake and laying him out flat. And the world of boxing going, that's what you want. That's what you want. Fury get to the back end of this fight, and exhausted Ngannou, Fury finishing the fight off. Taking multiple punches, unanswered, a brave effort by Ngannou, but again, Fury being the better, superior boxer, and makes Ngannou miss a lot of punches and makes him pay. That's what you expect to see. But in the first 2-3 rounds, the boxing world better hold their breath. And they better not call this a joke. Because Ngannou is coming. And for all you out there calling it a joke, you better praise the joke. Because the joke might just be on you. All you people saying, it's a joke, it's a joke, it's a joke. You people calling it a joke. The Ngannou drops Tyson Fury. All you people calling it a joke at the moment, my friends and family, my boxing friends and family, the joke will be on you and the boxing world. And it will be an embarrassment. If Ngannou drops Tyson or knocks him out, it's not good. It is not good at all. And it's this arrogance sometimes boxing fan has, and this ignorance that boxing fans have. That their man has been down. Fury's been down multiple times. And he's been down by a guy who could not box, according to many of you experts. Deontay Wilder can't box, but this guy has dropped Fury 4 times in 2 fights. And arguably knocked him out in the first fight, despite a long count. So, if a guy that can't box dropped Fury 4 times in 2 fights, a guy that cannot box, remember, he can just punch, then what separates him from Ngannou, who again is a guy that can't box, because it's a joke, right? And that's the thing I'm talking to you about. That's the thing I'm talking to you all about. So all you saying is a joke. The joke may be on you. In fact, the joke already is on you. Because if you... It took him 10 rounds to dispatch of Derek Chisora. No. 10 rounds? Was it 10 rounds? No. Or did he go to points? Yeah, 10 rounds. Or did I can't remember how the fight ended. But look at Dillian White. Look at the Dillian White fight. I mean, the best performances of Tyson Fury, for me, have been the Wilder fights, the Klitschko fight. They're the best fights for me of Tyson Fury's career. That's it. Those fights. And the fight he had against the Southpaw, Otto Volley. That fight as well. That was a real fight. So... that's where it is. Those are my thoughts. People are saying, great to see your friend Uncle Bashir on the biggest stage at the Bois Usyk. Is it? I don't know if that was the biggest stage. Usyk Dubois. Let's see what we've got here. I didn't say much. I didn't talk too much about it. Augley and Adelaide brawl. Fury beating Vlad is still the best win at heavyweight of anyone active. Okay. So, I think that's it for me. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, leave your comments as always. Here we go. Somebody says, do we really believe that this is not a gentleman's agreement between both to waffle about for 8 rounds? Too many lawyers and promoters tied to this thing. Yeah, I see it. I do see that. I just can't see Ngannou coming over and just laying down. I just can't see that. I just don't see that. Yeah, there may be lawyers in tied to it, but there may be lawyers tied to a rematch, and it'll be the biggest grossing rematch. I mean, there's a lot of money in it. Either way, there's a lot of money in it. It is a valid point, though. It is a valid point. It's a valid point. It's a valid point. But what makes more money? Ngannou Fury or Ngannou Usyk? It's for the undisputed, but what makes more money? I would say this fight's going to make a lot of money. This Ngannou Tyson Fury fight, it's going to make a lot of money. And I think it's going to surprise a lot of people as well. So I have a lot of faith that Ngannou's going to do a lot more than people think he will. But yeah, but then you could say the same thing. You could say the same thing, Darius TV. You could say the same thing for when Canelo for Kovalev. Remember that fight? They were buddy, and I'm sure there were lawyers around, and they were greeting each other in the corridors of the hotel, and it was like a business deal. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see what lawyers and gentlemen's agreement will do when. I mean, it's going to be very difficult. I think that if Tyson lands a punch on Ngannou's chin, Ngannou's just going to stand there and take it. I can't believe that, and I can't believe he's going to whip himself into so much shape, spend money on Mike Tyson. I can't believe it somehow. Good evening to you, Ingram. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. You're welcome. I don't think Ngannou could do any worse than Dillian Whyte and Derek Chisora. I don't think Francis Ngannou could do any worse than Tom Schwartz. And Tom Schwartz, let's remember, was a boxer. Okay? So there are guys I expect Ngannou to do better than. You know, and the one thing that's going to be key about this fight for me is the gloves. Ngannou's people have to be very strict about the gloves they're getting. They want Ngannou to be using the puncher's gloves. He needs to wear the puncher's gloves, and the padding in those gloves is going to be very interesting. The WBC is not on the line, but Fury's health is. If Ngannou goes to the body, which I think is the attack, by the way, the attack to Ngannou is to go to Fury's body, not his head. Even 1/10 of what Tyson showed him, this could be bad for Fury. Remember how well Wilder did the third fight of Fury bodywork? Yep. I'm glad you reminded me of that, because that was a thought I was going for. Why does Ngannou have to go for Tyson Fury's head? Like I said, go back and look at Ngannou when he was looking at Fury can be an idiot sometimes. I don't know why Fury took his clothes off. That's the worst thing he could do. Do you know why? Because when you work with visualization, yeah, when a man's got clothes on, it's difficult to visualize his body structure. But now, Fury's taking his top off, and you're a predator. You're looking at Fury's body, and you're thinking, and you're locked in. You're looking at body, and you've seen a whole load of body, and you've seen a whole load of fat, and you think to yourself, if I whack that with all my power, something's got to break. Something's got to break. I don't have to go to this guy's chin, go to this guy's body. Because we know this guy's got a good chin. Let's go to his body. And Mike will tell him, those guys have got good chins, forget the chin, go to the body. Take the juice out of Tyson Fury's legs, go to his body. Work that body, slow him down, bring the hands down, and then come over the top. I think if he can, Ngannou should go for the Reyes horsehair gloves. Just go just above the belt line of Fury and stay on the toes. The fear of Swartz, while it is gone, he's a stationary target. Of course, he's a stationary target. And he'll be looking to load up with power shots and looking to get Ngannou out of there. But the body is the key. What Tyson Fury did, taking the top off against Ngannou, was a complete no-no to a predator. That's the man that's looking him up and down and looking smiling. Yeah, I got that. And look at Ngannou's eyes. I can hit you there, I can hit you there, I can hit you there, I can hit you there. There's a lot of you to hit. I don't have to go for your chin. I don't have to go. I can go to your body. I can go to your ribs. And then Tyson's still going, and all this stuff he's doing for promotion. And Ngannou's just looking at him and smiling, going, huh? Yeah. Especially go to the liver in the middle rounds. Fury was most uncomfortable when Wilder hit him there near in the third fight. Never mind the third fight. Go in the first fight. Before Wilder set him up to knock him down in that fight, the last round, I was commentating. I said, Fury's slowing up here because of the bodywork of Wilder. He's slowing up significantly because of the bodywork of Wilder. That was back then. And we still really don't know what damage Wilder did in those fights with Fury, because the likes of Dillian Whyte and Derek Chisora did not test Fury in that way. Ngannou's going to test it for sure. For as long as Ngannou is standing and Ngannou is in punching range, as long as Ngannou's in punching range and he's standing, the boxing world need to hold their breath. Right, I'm out of here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, leave your comments, share the video. And Fury has a number of tails. One of them is wiping his nose when circling. Wilder caught him right when he was wiping his nose, and Ngannou should have to do the same. Yep, Mike is in his corner. Mike will give him a lot of advice. A lot of advice. And how does Fury train for Ngannou? The guy I would probably bring in to spar would be Bakoli. Bakoli. Bakoli would be the guy I would get Tyson Fury to spar with. Yeah, definitely Bakoli. Bakoli would be the guy I'd get sparring with. Right. I would be very interested to see who Ngannou's sparring partners are before this fight. Who will he be sparring with? And how will those sparring sessions be? Because we don't want Ngannou getting knocked out before the fight, because that won't be good. That won't be good at all. Right, I'm out of here. Take care.